Top of the morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Happy Tuesday. Wanted to check in with you. It's been a crazy couple of weeks for me personally in my own business with the group, other things that we have going on, and so apologies for it being a week since we last spoke, but things are catching a breather here, so I wanted to pop in and try to provide a little value for you today. A couple weeks ago in our Millionaire Recruiter Club group, which, by the way, for those of you seeing this in the club group, obviously you're already a member, but we also post these to YouTube as well and outside of Facebook. And so I would highly, highly recommend that if you are not a member of our Millionaire Recruiter Club Facebook group, highly recommend that you join that. That way you can get information from us as it becomes available. It's also a growing community of other like-minded recruiters who own their own business or are starting their own business and looking to scale. So wanted to put that shout out there. We did a poll. We took a poll a couple weeks ago in our club group asking the membership, what is it that they're currently struggling with? And this is for folks outside of our mastermind and elite groups. And so the overwhelming majority, the lion's share of the people that voted, indicated that they were currently struggling with business development, with landing new clients in their business. And so I took a little bit of time over the last couple of weeks to back channel with a handful of you in our club group who I don't typically get to interact with inside our paid groups, to get a sense of what's going on, what you're currently doing, just a current state. And so there are two main things that really just kind of smacked me in the face in terms of root cause as to what a lot of you are currently doing wrong. And so I wanted to share those with you. And so the first thing that I'm noticing with quite a few of you is the industries, the niches that you are in, that you're targeting. They're not currently in high demand for direct hire recruiting services. And so obviously, the demand for what we do has to be in the markets that we're targeting. If there's no demand, if they're not in pain for workforce solutions as it relates specifically to direct hire recruiting, then the efforts, the time, the money, the resources that you're leveraging to market to those industries is futile. It's being wasted. And so you really need to make sure that the industries that you're targeting are in high demand for your services. And a lot of the industries that some of you are targeting are not. There are four components to identifying a industry that is in high demand for recruiting services. And so I'll briefly kind of high level these. They need to be in a significant amount of pain as it relates to the workforce solutions that they're needing. That has to be present. If it's not present, then they're not in enough pain. They're not going to be motivated to buy from you, to solicit your services, to agree to jump on a call, ultimately to sign your agreement, et cetera. Okay, got to be in a lot of pain. The second component is they need to have some buying power. That industry specifically needs to have some buying power in order to afford legitimate fees, if not premium fees, for the roles that they are seeking. Very, very important. And as a rule of thumb, I like to say minimum of $20,000 per placement is the ideal benchmark of revenue generated per placement. Obviously, we would love that to be higher, but that's ultimately kind of the average that we need to shoot for. And so the other two components, which would be a target-rich environment, being able to identify decision makers in those industries and reach out to them, as well as the candidates that they are in need of. And then the fourth component is the industry being in growth mode, which there's a formula to determine what that is. But those are the four pillars. One of the mistakes that I'm seeing also is some of you are in some niches, but you only have three of those four dialed in. And the one that's usually missing is either they're not in growth mode or they don't have the buying power to afford premium services. A great example of this is those of you specializing in the hospitality, restaurant, hotel, travel industry. That industry is growing. They're in significant pain as it relates to hiring solutions. They're easy to find, but they can't afford premium fees. The average fee that you're going to yield from that niche is going to be anywhere between $10,000 to $12,000 per placement. And so, in my opinion, and in order to make the big bucks in this business, the juice is not worth the squeeze. There are better industries to be in. And so that's a major, major mistake. The other thing too is that if the industry that you're targeting is not growing or not in pain, as it relates to the open roles within the industry, within the organizations of those industries, it's going to be crickets. It's going to be really hard for you to close deals, and the deals that you do close are not going to be worth your while, okay, or yield the revenue that you ultimately need those agreements, those relationships to yield. Super, super important. So that's the first thing that I'm noticing. That's kind of a blanket statement and a blanket problem, root cause for a lot of you that are struggling with your business development. The second thing that I am seeing is the messaging that you are using to reach out to your niche, your ideal client, is just super, super generic. You are not dialed in whatsoever to the actual pain points that are specific to the decision makers within the industries of the companies that you're targeting. It's got to be specific. It's got to resonate with the people that you're sending. And so a lot of you are sending a lot of really generic messaging like, we can find top talent and we can do it quickly, and here's my rate, and we got a guarantee, and we leverage technology. Believe me when I tell you this, they probably receive 20 to 30 emails a day from different recruiters that say the same exact thing. And so if that's what if that's the gist of the emails and the DMs and the outreach and the marketing that you're putting out there to your market, it's not going to work. You can stop doing that right now. You're better off actually doing absolutely nothing, because at least you'll save the time and money that you're putting that stuff out, because it's absolutely not going to work. You really need to take the time to understand specifically the persona and the avatar, one, within the niche specifically that you are recruiting in or that you're targeting, and two, the person within the organization, the function that they serve, and what's important to them as it relates to that open role and the services that you're going to provide. An example, at the industry level, at the niche level, the constraints, the challenges, the things that let's say the healthcare industry is struggling with as it relates to recruiting, workforce solutions, direct hire recruiting, et cetera, those constraints are going to be different than what you're going to find with the renewable energy industry. Okay. Totally different problems, totally different issues. Likewise, conversely, what you find in the renewable energy industry, what they're struggling with is going to be different than what the artificial intelligence industry is struggling with, and the cybersecurity industry. They all have unique situations and problems that they are trying to solve for. And so you need to be keyed in on what those problems are specifically, but then at an even granular level, hiring managers, HR professionals, whoever it is that you're targeting within these organizations, they also have their own subset and more granular level of problems that they are dealing with that are important to them. i.e., in the renewable energy industry, a VP of engineering is struggling with something totally different. What he or she is focusing on and what they want to solve for is totally different than, let's say, what the project management team is struggling with, or the HR department is struggling with, so on and so forth. Same thing with the healthcare industry. You can apply, copy and paste that comment and that thought across whatever industry you're targeting and who you're targeting within those organizations. And so your messaging needs to be specific to the constraints within the industry, and then the problems that are specifically related to the function of the person that you were trying to contact, what they are currently dealing with as it relates to the services that you're providing. Those are the two major things out of the gate on what a lot of you are missing and why you're not winning clients. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. Hope you found that valuable. We've got a whole strategy and detailed process on how we do all of that at a very high level. I kind of generalized some of that there, but you get the idea there. So I wanted to share that with you. I hope that helps some of you. Wanted to also remind that we have our Friday AMA, Ask Me Anything. This Friday, as we do every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern. This is an opportunity for you if you have questions about your business, about recruiting in general, business development, or order fulfillment, or sourcing, or whatever the case may be. This is an opportunity for you to join me. You get some one-on-one time with me. You can ask me your questions directly. I'll give you answers. And then we also give you a little flavor for for what we're about philosophically and all that good stuff. So hope to see you there. Other than that, we will try to check in again tomorrow. Have a great day and be well. Ciao.